Hey, Jason here from Simply Swider. So if your Frigidaire dishwasher is giving you the silent treatment and won't start at all, don't worry. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to troubleshoot and fix it. Good news is most of these issues are way simpler than you think and can be fixed in under 10 minutes. You can definitely save yourself some serious money on service calls that typically cost $150 to $300. Before we get started, if you run into any questions, jump into our Facebook group. Links in the description. We've got thousands of people helping each other fix their appliances, and I pop in there daily to help out. All right, so here's the deal. When your Frigidaire dishwasher won't start, it's usually one of two things. Either it's user error that we can fix in seconds, or there's actually something wrong with the dishwasher itself. We're going to start with the simple stuff and work our way up to the more complex issues. Trust me, about 80% of the time, it's going to be something super basic that you can fix right now. So let's start with the most common culprit, and this one's going to make you laugh. The delay start function might be activated. Now, here's the thing. This feature lets you schedule when your dishwasher starts, which is actually pretty handy. But if you accidentally turned it on, your dishwasher's just sitting there waiting for the timer to run out. I had this customer call me last month in a panic because her brand new Frigidaire wouldn't start. She was convinced it was broken. Turns out she'd hit the delay start button without realizing it, and the thing was set to start at 2 in the morning. You can see on the screen right now what to look for. Check your control panel for any delay start indicator. It might be a light that's on or even a countdown timer showing. If you see that little light glowing, that's your problem right there. Here's the fix. First, press and hold the start cancel button for 3 to 5 seconds until the delay indicator turns off. Then close the door firmly and press start again. Your dishwasher should fire right up. Way easier than calling someone like me out for a $150 service call. Another thing that'll stop your dishwasher dead in its tracks is the child lock feature. Now, this safety feature is designed to prevent kids from messing with the settings or starting the machine. Problem is, when it's activated, your dishwasher becomes completely unresponsive. You can press that start button all day long and nothing's going to happen. Look for a little padlock symbol on your display panel. If you see that lock indicator light, that's what's keeping you from starting a wash cycle. To deactivate child lock, locate either the no heat dry button or rinse only button. It varies by model. Press and hold whichever button your unit has for 3 to 5 seconds until that padlock light disappears. Don't worry if you pick the wrong button first, it won't hurt anything. If that lock indicator isn't going away, we need to reset the whole dishwasher, unplug it from the wall, or flip the circuit breaker for about 10 minutes. Then try again. This usually does the trick. Moving on to door issues, and this one's more common than you think. Your dishwasher has a safety feature that prevents it from starting if the door isn't completely closed and latched. Sometimes you think the door is closed, but it's not actually locked in place. Here's what I want you to do. Open the door completely, then close it again and really listen for that click. You should feel it latch securely. If it's not closing properly, there's usually something blocking it. Could be a dish rack that's not pushed in all the way, or maybe something got stuck in the door seal. I've seen everything from utensils to chunks of food preventing these doors from closing properly. Check around the door seal for any debris and make sure both dish racks are pushed in completely. If the door latch itself feels loose or damaged, that's going to need replacement. But let's rule out the simple stuff first. Here's something that trips people up all the time. Your dishwasher might be stuck in a cycle. This happens when you interrupt a wash cycle halfway through, or if there was a power outage during operation. The control board gets confused and won't respond to new commands. The good news is this is super easy to fix. Try holding the cancel button for at least 3 seconds. You should see the lights change or hear the dishwasher drain if there's any water in there. If that doesn't work, flip the circuit breaker that controls your dishwasher for about 10 minutes, then turn it back on. I actually recommend doing this reset even if you don't think you interrupted the last cycle. Sometimes these control boards just need a fresh start and it takes all of 30 seconds to try. All right, here's the one that's going to make you feel silly if this is your problem, but I've seen it more times than I can count. Your dishwasher might not be getting power at all. If there are no lights on the control panel, nothing's happening when you press buttons. This is probably your issue. Before checking electrical components, make sure your hands are dry. Check your circuit breaker box. It's usually in the basement, garage, or utility room. Look for the breaker labeled dishwasher or kitchen appliances and see if it's tripped to the middle position. A tripped breaker will be in the middle position, not fully on or off. Just flip it all the way off. then back on. If you've got an older home with fuses instead of breakers, you might have a blown fuse that needs replacing. Now, here's something important. If that breaker keeps tripping after you reset it, don't keep flipping it back. That means there's an electrical problem with the dishwasher itself, and you're going to need an electrician for that one. If none of those basic fixes worked, we're getting into the more technical stuff. The door latch and door switch work together to tell your dishwasher that it's safe to start. The latch is the mechanical part that keeps the door shut, and the switch is the electrical component that signals the control board. When either one of these fails, your dishwasher thinks the door is open even when it's not. You can test this by opening and closing the door. If it feels loose or doesn't click securely, that's a red flag. Testing these components requires removing the inner door panel. This involves unscrewing several screws and carefully disconnecting wire connectors. Look for corroded contacts, loose wires, or a cracked latch mechanism. If you find damage, you'll need to replace the entire door latch and switch assembly, which costs about $30 to $50. These parts usually run about 30 to 50 bucks depending on your model, which beats paying for a service call plus parts markup. Another component that can prevent startup is the main control board. This is basically the brain of your dishwasher. When the control board fails, you might have lights on the display, but nothing happens when you select a cycle and hit start. Sometimes you'll get error codes, other times the dishwasher just sits there doing absolutely nothing. Control board problems are tricky to diagnose without the right equipment, but there are a few things you can check. Look for any obvious signs of damage like burnt components or corrosion. If you're comfortable working with electronics, you can check for proper voltage at the board connections. However, control board replacement is usually a job for someone with experience. These parts run anywhere from 70 to 200 bucks, and if you install it wrong, you could damage other components. Here's a component most people don't know about, the thermal fuse. This little safety device is designed to cut power to the dishwasher if it overheats. When the thermal fuse blows, your dishwasher won't start at all. The tricky thing is a blown thermal fuse looks perfectly normal from the outside. You need a multimeter to test for continuity. The thermal fuse is usually located near the control board or motor assembly. If you find it's blown, replacement is pretty straightforward. They're only about $20 to $50. But here's the important part. Thermal fuses don't blow for no reason. If yours is blown, you need to figure out what caused the overheating in the first place, or you'll just blow the new fuse too. For dishwashers with mechanical timers, a faulty timer can prevent startup. The timer controls when different components activate during the wash cycle. If it's stuck or the motor inside fails, nothing's going to happen when you try to start a cycle. Timer replacement is more involved. You're looking at $150 to $500 depending on the model. The motor start relay is another potential culprit. This component provides the initial power boost to get the wash motor running. When it fails, you might hear clicking sounds, but the motor won't start. Motor start relays are cheap, usually 20 to 50 bucks, but getting to them requires removing panels and possibly the motor assembly. You can see the most affected models on the screen right now. This issue seems to hit certain Frigidaire series harder than others. The Gallery series and Professional series tend to have more control board issues, while the basic Frigidaire models often have door latch problems. What I've noticed over the years is that the units with electronic controls are more prone to startup issues than the mechanical timer models. The good news is that parts availability is pretty good for most of these units, and the troubleshooting steps I've shown you work across the entire Frigidaire lineup. That's how you troubleshoot a Frigidaire dishwasher that won't start. Here's your action plan. Start with the 30-second fixes. Check delay, start, child lock, door closure, and power supply. These solve about 80% of no start problems. If those don't work, move on to the door latch and control board checks. Remember, even the more complex repairs cost way less than buying a new dishwasher. If you need to get into the more technical repairs like control boards or door switches, just remember that even buying the parts and having someone install them is going to be way cheaper than replacing the whole dishwasher. If you guys know someone who's having appliance troubles, please send them the link to this video or a link to my channel where I have tons of other videos showing how to fix pretty common issues with appliances, sometimes for free or as little cost as possible. It sure beats having a repairman come out and spending several hundred for them to fix it when it could be something so simple. If this helped you get your Frigidaire dishwasher working again, hit that like button and drop a comment below. Let me know which fix worked for you. Really helps other people with the same problem. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. We'll get this out to more folks who need to save some time and money. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day.